Good morning, everyone. So during the Tileman React, I actually talked about kind of being interested in a free-to-play Ultimate Iron Man, because that's probably the route I would have gone, just because I'm going to go super slow with it. And Verf actually has a whole series about that. So we're going to watch the first episode and just see what I'd be kind of signing myself up for.
This is my Ultimate Iron Man locked to free-to-play worlds. My new side project full of nostalgia and new adventures.
Which, I mean, like, if you're locking into free-to-play worlds, like, you're pretty much just trying to get the Dragon Slayer, I guess. That's kind of the cap. I'm sure there's more to it now, but back when I last played this, it was just Dragon Slayer, and then if your stats are about 60, you've done 99% of what you could do. So let's see what I don't know about, I guess.
3 years ago I started the Karamja only Ultimate Iron Man side project and locked myself to Karamja to complete the Inferno from scratch. A big part of that account were the unusual, time consuming and weird training methods, and I really started to appreciate these rewarding grinds. So I think I'm really going to enjoy this free to play account. Let's just start this journey and see where it gets us. We're going to start with a bunch of easy, quick progress, and that is the first quest completed on the account. X marks the spot. I'm going to keep the lamp.
I don't remember this quest existing, so okay, there are definitely some new quests. Ultimate Iron Man definitely will put things way more complicated. I'm worried more about how you'd get like runes and stuff, because rune crafting, that's gonna be insanity. Like, because you might be able to get 25 essence in a go, and okay, that's 100 air. So there's gotta be better methods than that to get your runes.
And use it once I complete rune mysteries for some free rune crafting XP. Of course, we will grab the 10,000 GP. That will be helpful for some
Ooh, yeah,
early training. Probably
stronghold
going to
security
spend
makes
that on
sense.
range equipment and some magic runes. And that's the rune mysteries quest completed as well. Probably
Why?
surprising to some of you, because if
Yeah,
you complete this quest, you
why
will
would you
not be able to do
do?
the air tiara rune crafting method, where you basically keep asking for the air talisman and you will use all of that to make tiaras. I'm not actually planning on doing that method on this account, so it will be fine, trust me. And we can now spend the lamp on rune crafting, because you do actually need to complete rune mysteries to lamp the skill. And that gets me to 4 rune crafting. Right, so one of my big
But
plans on this
why,
account is
why
to
do you need
get
rune
the
crafting?
100 Elmas win cape for the fashion scape, and we can spend all of the points on Eddy arrows and use it for range training or sell for
Oh,
GP. But to play
half did
this minigame you
150.
actually need
Okay.
150 total in free to play. So I guess
I
that's the first
don't know this
short-term
minigame
goal,
at all.
because I will
Interesting.
probably spending quite a bit of time in this minigame. This episode is brought to you by Audible.
All right, we're gonna skip past Audible.
Alright, we're going to invest some of the GP from the stronghold. I'm going to buy a bunch of bronze arrows
Okay,
and get my range
world
up.
hopping
And probably
definitely
also going
will
to
help
spend it on
you.
early magic. Basically, GP will not be a problem anymore for me after I finish the L mass grind. I will be selling adamant arrows to the shop whenever I need a bit of GP.
Oh yeah, they have rune packs now. Okay, yeah. More questions about why you bother do rune. Maybe one of these runes is not packable, but like yeah, that covers your rune things. You have no reason to do rune crafting.
And once we actually start using the arrows, I will be making a bunch of money with all the arrows. So it's just going to be useful early game. Humble beginnings, that's 2 range. Killing chickens like the good old days. Probably get like 10 range here and then move over to goblins or cows. This is a pretty good spot early on, because I'm going to get some cooking levels and prayer levels as well, which boost my total level. There's a very handy cooking pot next to the chicken, so I'll be cooking
Oh,
all of my raw chickens, get some free cooking levels, and that is 75 total on
I
the
thought he was gonna
account.
have to
So
like
we're already
drop a fire
halfway to
making
the
one for
requirement
it.
for Elmas. It's actually not that bad to get the requirement, it's not that
I'm
high.
learning I don't know
I kind of
anything
multi-quested
anymore.
the Restless Ghost quest, so decided to finish that off as well for some free prayer levels, and that should get me to 10 prayer, there we go. Slowly going to get up the quest points for Dragon Slayer, because that will be one of the other goals I'll be working
Okay,
towards.
so he does mention
And
Dragon
there's
Star. It is
15
still one
wood
of the
cutting. I
big
decided to
goals,
start
but
the fire making, wood cutting, and doing some magic. Really easy levels to boost my total levels again. And there's 15 fire making as well. And that's 18 fire making with 100 totals, so we're getting there. And this always brings me back to the first days of playing RuneScape. There's just something about
Like,
fire
honestly, yeah,
making
if you're
and
doing an Ultra
woodcutting and
Iron Man, like,
lumbridge.
it's the
I love it.
easiest way to
Some little
start.
technique in there, and there's 20 woodcutting. 26 woodcutting and 125 total, almost there. Right, decided to
fighting
switch over to
goblins
cooking because I
WoW.
got a decent
Very
amount of woodcutting and fire
interesting.
making levels, and my cooking is still really low. I have 2800 GP left, and there's actually a pretty nice way to train cooking early on an Ironman. You can buy sardines from the fishing shop and just cook them, and it's a really quick way to get early cooking levels. So I'm gonna spam some sardines, and that should get me close to the level I need for LMS.
And early food, I suppose.
And there we go, that GP got me 25 cooking, not bad. Right, it is a few days later and I started training range, and there's 30 range on the account. I finished my LMS grind. However, I need to wait 48 hours before I can use the shop. So what I'm going to do is progress my accounts a bunch, do some quests, get some levels. And once the timer is finished,
Oh, is
I
that
can
stuff they're
spend the points
selling?
and get myself the cape. So let's get to work. First, a beginner casket of the account. Can we get a unique? Let's see. We got cabbages. Alright, that's the same chance as a unique. Unlucky. Alright, decided to do Vampire Slayer. I didn't really train my melee yet, so this will come in handy. And this is a nice safe spot for the people that are very low combat.
Oh.
And there
You
we
can
go.
just
That's
trap
a
him in the
quest done
corner?
for 20 attack. I have to wait around one more day, and I've been spending all of my time doing fishing and cooking.
I feel like
because it's really AFK,
they're
I can
zooming
just
through
play
the
my other
levels.
account
Also,
while AFK on this
54
one.
fishing.
And we did make quite a bit of progress since last clip, because this level will get me 350 total level. But yeah, I should be able to open a shop tomorrow and use the points.
Okay, it definitely feels like it's skipping quite a few
We should be able to open a
things
shop now,
that
but
I'm
I
going to
want
need to
to
know in the
finish off
future,
this clean
but
level on the account.
wow.
50 cooking, nice milestone. We did do quite a bit of fishing on this account.
Also, how do you get the white party hat? That must be a lot easier to get
for
nowadays.
a long time on this account
Something.
now. We are mostly
Or it's
going
from
to focus
LMS.
on ranged. Alright, let's check it out then. I got myself 100 wins and 648 points. That is a lot of points, and this is what the scoreboard looks like. I did do 171 games, so pretty good statistics, I think. I think it took me around 13 or 14 hours to play all of these games. And we got an average of 2.7 kills per game, so close to 3 kills per game. At the time of this recording, there were a lot of bots in LMS, so it was a bit easy to get wins.
The kills.
And also, they
or if
did
it's because it's a
close
minigame, it didn't.
LMS in free-to-play, so you cannot actually get points or spend points, which really is a shame. I think they're kind of looking into fixing it because of the bots, but these recordings are quite old, so that's why I'm still able to use the shop. And yeah, I'm going to spend all of these points. Alright, spend it on Eddie Arrows 648.
Oh, okay,
wow,
that's
that looks
very
unreal.
Beneficial.
226,000 Eddie Arrows in free to play.
Your arrows are covered
for. It basically took me 2 days of playtime to get this, which is kind of crazy if we think about it. That legit does not look real.
226,000
What a great start to the account though. So if I ever need GP, I can sell some of these Eddie arrows in the Verf shop and get some GP for it. But I will...
You literally... That's probably your arrows covered for all of your free-to-play stuff. Why would you bother selling it at this point? And like, it's a slot you're never going to need for anything else. Like, I don't think you're getting rune arrows anytime soon. But
try and save all of these arrows, and I think I want to shoot all of these arrows on this account. And I believe the best spot will be Ogres Warriors, so that will be an interesting grind. Subscribe. So the next goal I'm going to work on is Dragon Slayer, because that will unlock full
subscribe
green
to Verf,
D-height, which will be very good for ranging.
They've got lots of details. This is apparently a 4-year-old one, and they're still actively making content.
So let's start grinding. We're going to start with some crafting, because I will be able to train some melee stats, and I need crafting for smithing, but we will get into that in a little bit. And there's 10 mining, that's a requirement for the Knight Sword, and let's go do that quest, because that quest should get me 29 smithing instantly. I got you a sword, give me that reward, there we go.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's just
smithing
such
on
a
the account.
quick
That is such a time
boost.
saver. Love that quest. It is time to start killing some Ogres Warriors on the account. Going to get up my magic early on for all the teleports. Mostly the Falador teleport.
Be newer than
these guys drop a lot of law runes, and I'm going to need some law runes for my early smithing and mining grind. And I completely forgot about this, but in order to do Dragon Slayer on a free-to-play account, you have to make steel nails with the smithing skill. Because you can't buy steel nails anywhere, so you have to smith them because they are needed for the quest to repair the boat.
90
Yeah, we have to
steel
grind out some
nails.
runes, and we also can make some easy money killing ogresses. Got myself a beautiful blue man, and he got me 7 rune crafting. I think overall rune crafting will be the best skill to lamp once you get a high level. But I'm just getting some free total levels for now. 43 magic on the account, which means we can use the superheat spell.
Would you even use?
Not that useful right now, I only have 20 nature runes, but at a later stage of the account, this spell will be amazing. 20 mining
I am learning
on the
a lot
account,
of these,
which
like,
means we
good
can now
safe
mine
spots
silver,
and
and that is a
whatnot.
pretty important ore to mine. I've collected some law runes from ogresses. We have 32 law runes, which should be enough to get the smithing level that I need. And my plan right now is to mine silver, teleport to Valador to make silver jewelry, get some crafting and smithing XP, and then teleport with the chronicles and repeat the process. Should get me a lot of mining, smithing and crafting levels. And most important, the requirement for Dragon Slayer. Spent most of my GP on pickaxe upgrades because I was using a bronze pickaxe, and a bronze pickaxe isn't very good. So this is roughly what the route is looking like. I'm making unholy symbols because you can sell them back to the general store and you make quite a bit of GP. You can also go for tiaras, which I will probably do for most of the crafting grind because it will give slightly more XP and probably GP will not be an issue in the future. But you basically make all the silver ores into bars, make it into jewelry, sell it or drop it depending what you're making, and then you can teleport back to the Verf mine and repeat the process. 36 hit points and 500 total.
Yeah, I wonder what.
Although I realized that my total
actually
isn't 500 because my free-to-play total is 492. So I'll probably work on some other easy skills because if I get 500 total, I will be able to use one of the skilling worlds and that should have a lot less bots when doing silver. 34 smithing. Steel nails unlocked. I can now smith them. So I have everything for Dragon Slayer. Skill wise, I still need to do quests.
I don't think you've done all the quests yet, have you?
But progress is going well. I did a couple more trips to finish off this mining level. 41 mining, which is the level required for a rune pickaxe. So when we go back to this mining grind in the future, I will be instantly able to use the rune pickaxe.
Also,
so
why
the
is
next
rune
step
so low
is
when
to
like
grind
crafting
a
it is
bunch
90s?
of easy free-to-play quests and get that quest points up. So let's roll the montage.
Moving on, Juliet, one of the common ones for, like, I was looking at how to get the Grand Exchange, and it's like, just do Romeo and Juliet and Goblin Diplomacy. Done. $31, $32, so that's enough for Dragon. Wait. That was when I was like, this is the end of it. And it's like, no.
To slay the dragon. I use
that
a pretty
is
simple
their first
trick
episode.
that most people use for this quest early on, which is flinching Elvark. It does take a little bit of time, but you can do it with very low stats and basically don't waste any combat XP because this quest gives a lot of combat XP early on. So the sooner you can do this quest, the better.
Oh, just, you know,
I just
remove his
flinched it
head
with base 30 attack and strength. Worked out pretty well. Elvark head obtained. Let's turn in this bad boy. Alright, Ozark, give me that.
You slayed the dragon? Yeah, actually, here you go.
Look at that. That should give me a lot of levels. Let's check it out. 38 strength and 35 defense. So we only need 5 more defense levels and we're pretty much ready for the range training grind. We can buy the body here and the Vamps, Chaps and a Coif in the Champions Guild, and that's pretty much all we need for the ranging grind. There we go, 40 defense completed. And we got 40 ranged as well. Decided to kill some Minotaurs, tried to get some crucibles.
I guess there's no reason to really pick up your arrows with that
green D'hide armor. Look at that beautiful outfit. That's going to boost my range XP by quite a lot, I think. That's a lot of extra accuracy bonus. And we're getting some goodies from these beginner clues. That's my second unique in 10 beginner clues. There is a collection log.
Might be a solution compared to mining it.
Try and get as many items on the collection log for sure. Right, so my new training spot is Moss Giants on Crandor Island after Dragon Slayer. And I got myself the first Mossy Key. Going to stay here until 50 range, I think. And then we are officially ready for Ogresses. Another Mossy Key.
Open a casket, it's in the casket.
Wow, another unique. How many clues is that? 15 clue scrolls. We are getting really lucky with these uniques right now. And there we go, 50 ranged
Yeah, but
on the
you're an
free-to-play
Ultimate Iron Man. You
account. We
can't
got
really
5
store them
mossy
anywhere,
keys
can
in
you?
total. We will use them when we get Magic Protect, but let's move over to Ogresses. I've basically completed the early list of grinds now, and that means we can start some of the big grinds, so I'm pretty excited. Another reason we did Dragon Slayer
Wait,
early on
I
is
don't know what
because
the
of this
thing is.
new area they added a while ago. With Dragon Slayer
New area a
completed,
while
you can
ago,
enter
okay.
this special area and enter this dungeon. And because it is Dragon Slayer only, a lot of people don't know about it. It's not as crowded as the other area, which will be very good.
Oh
So
wow,
after
the second he got
testing
there, I
various
immediately
save spots,
attacked.
I think this will be my go-to save spot. I can kill 2 Ogresses at all times. As you can see in the inventory, the stacks are starting to go up. We got some money now, we got some law runes and nature runes, which will be the main runes that I'm going to hunt from the Ogress warriors. I am going to set myself a very interesting goal for the next episode, which
Okay.
is 70 crafting for the Amulet of Power. But there's
70?
a twist.
Only
I will
70?
only train crafting with gem drops from Ogresses, which means I have to kill around 68,000 Ogress warriors. I think that will give some pretty epic loot and stats, and I will put
Yeah,
all
that'll
of that
probably get you
progress
most of your
in the next
levels.
episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
So, when I was saying, like, I don't know if I've got the time that he's put in 68,000 ogres? That's insane.
And like the video if you want to see more. I'm really excited.
But, yeah, this one episode covered basically 100% of what I thought the journey was going to be, so I am interested to see what other things are on after that. But, that's when I watch this series outside of this. Thank you guys for joining me, and have a great day.